processors that can do the task very fast. As you see in the video, she can think billion times faster per second. Okay, and also for sports, in the sports now, those who are without complete figures can run, can join the sports because the intelligent fit that they have. So it will be more democratic and more participatory for all peoples without what their disabilities have limited their abilities. For this guy who are blind, in fact, he was working with I think Google, developing software for the blind, which the two things that is very smart in his beside his handphone is his eyeglasses. Eyeglasses can tell him that what is in front of him. The same thing with his stick that will show him the right path, and what are the thing that's coming, the danger thing that's coming to him, so he can avoid and he can know the safe place to go through. So these are the effects of the technology. When we talk about technology, we also talk about the human side, which is the biology of the human, the DNA. And one of the advantage of technologies in terms of DNA is it can reduce or shorten the aging. Shorten the aging that we can live longer. So you can see in these pictures that maybe people, some women 60 years old, still young, still look young because of the technology in biotech and so on. So these are the artificial brain that in the future that the scientists say they will be more smart than the original brain. So this guy who are working on the singularity concept will tell us that we need to unlock the creativity, we need to accelerate the innovation, and we need to adapt to changes. Of course, the concept of change, adapting to changes is not new. I think Charles Darwin in the 18th century talked about those who are the fittest to survive is those who adaptable to change, the most adaptable to change. So the speed is not linear. The speed is more exponential. That's why I'm still worried about the status that we are in. That we might not be able to to go fast as those who are in the Western countries. So we need to really catch up. And also now data is the new oil, meaning those who got data is the one who going to win the war. So you will know Harari say you own your own data, you will own your future. That's why big companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Instagram, and all that, YouTube has a lot of data, because they are the one who collecting all data, and we are the one who giving them the data. So they are the one who going to control our life. So more data was created this year than the last 5,000 years. This is a very humongous development. Over 4.1 billion people in the internet now, 30 billion devices connected. 570 new websites every minute, not every day, but every minute. And we have all this very huge amount of messages like the WhatsApps. And also the video. But when you come to the employment of the graduates, this one, I like this one because it's really telling us the reality. This guy say, instead of repaying my student loan, I'm returning my diploma. It didn't work because he doesn't got a job, even though he got a diploma from whatever institution that giving him. And this girl asked the doc, I have always wondered why you decided to be a doc. And he said, I was fooled by the job description. So sometimes, what we are preparing is the job that is obsolete, obsolete jobs that some people have not getting the job, even though they have the qualifications. So what are the characteristics of employability? According to this report, Those employment graduates are those who are prepared, positive, interest in their job, dedication, team spirit, readiness, face challenges, and hardship. These are mostly the 21st century skill that need to be nurtured in our graduates, in our students. And also work-related competencies such as ability to apply theory in the working environment. Of course, many of us don't know what is theory, what are the theory behind everything that they do. But this is what important. Yeah? Speak English as well as have strong communication skill. This is also the 21st century skill that need to be nurtured. And the 10th skill for the future workforce, making sense, novelty, adaptive thinking. Novelty means that you are creative, you are producing new ideas. Computational thinking is more on the digital thinking. And interdisciplinary, you have to know not only your discipline, but other disciplines as well. And cognitive load management, how to manage your mind. And social intelligence, this is very important that we work with other people, we learn from other people, we create things, products, new products with other people. And cross-cultural competency, diversity in the workplace, new media literacy. Of course, beside the 3R, we have also digital literacy. And design mindset is very important that many people, I think, lack of this design mindset, that they did not really study about how to design things and the virtual collaborations. So I'm really interested in design mindset. So why is it important to have? Because sometimes we see simple things daily in the life that we think that this guy doesn't have a design mindset. For example, this one, the design of this road, it's supposed to be, the bricks road, but it's not being used by the user. The user are using the other roads because the one who designed this one might not think about the other route that the peoples are taking. What is the problem with this toilet? So the toilet paper is so far from the toilet bowl, so it's difficult for those in doing the things. And this balcony without maybe decoration, but is without a door. And suddenly you have a door upstairs in the classroom. I don't know what is the purpose of that door. And this is supposed to be the electrical outlet, but is producing water. And the telephone should be inside, but these are real pictures. So I'm not sure why the telephone is outside of the booth, outside the booth. Okay, this is a video about how lacking is the thinking design mindset. So what happened to the guy? He cannot take out his head because he's the rail without thinking. So basically 25 million jobs will disappear, 40% of the company will be dead within 10 years, and 25% of the GDP will be digital by 2020. This is even though it's dated data, but I think it's still relevant that we need to be aware that most of the companies will be obsolete. And disruption in education will be similar to the music industry, publishing, and newspapers. Now we can see the lack of people who read the paper newspaper. I'm not sure how many of you read paper newspaper, but most of us are read on our handphone, on the internet. Instead of buying the paper newspaper. And the high risk job of become obsolete is or become automated. Accountant, air traffic controller, babysitter, maybe the robot will babysit. Librarian, even the military, pharmacist, taxi driver, truck drivers, because we have in the future it's the autonomous vehicle. And these are the companies which are booming because of their using of the digital automation, advanced technology, and also AI. McKinsey consultant estimated that about 60% of occupation, at least 1/3 of the tasks will be automated or using the AI by 2030. A report also stated that 1/3 of American workers will have to change job by 2030 due to AI. 30% is a lot. A third, 30% of the workers will be replaced by the automation. So we have to rethink education, training, and learning. Education should provide students with a new way of thinking, new curriculum that emphasize the artificial intelligence. So my question is, are we preparing the kids for the future or the past? So it is an important question that we educators asking asking ourselves. I was like this orangutan. Orangutan is a primate which is very smart. In one zoo in Canada, the baby orangutan was taught to design on iPad. Was taught to design by the mother. Mother is teaching the baby to design on iPad. So even the animal can be intelligent in terms of their designing. So so technology can change our life, study, work. We can have vehicle that suitable for the new technology with all this stuff inside. But sometimes when we went to some countries, we still have this type of technology. So there's a digital divide between the advanced country and also the poor country. So sometimes we also have this technophobia, meaning that afraid of the new technology and all the new initiative, new technology will be opposed by some people, especially teachers in the school, in universities, that when we introduce some of the digital advancement online system and so on, they refuse to use. They still want the traditional things. So if you look at these photos, there's a strange, meaning that what is the problem with these pictures? Some people say that it should be the other thing around. The young boy will use the computer and the old guy use newspapers. But now we can also observe that the old people are also interested in the technology. So it's not true that all generation are not technology literate. Many people now are learning how to transform into the technology era. So the problem with our students and also teachers and our also lecturers, they like to copy and paste. What is the problem with copy and paste? Maybe it's not a problem for our daily life, but when we want to produce new technology, new ideas, then we should not be imitating others. We need to have a novelty, that what I call creativity, that we need to have. And our students, use technology in the classroom. Jerry Sass, who wrote The End of Poverty, he said people are not only divided by ideology, but also technology. So the technology is not only available in some countries, but it's also maybe limited in other countries, especially the third world country. So what is the role of technology in our education, especially in our TVET institution? One is to facilitate our work performance, to enhance teaching, and to facilitate learnings, and to facilitate our research and development. So these 4 items, which is really need the new technology to help us. The technology should be helping us, not to be burden us. So, but the problem is with technology and pedagogy is 1 step forwards in technology, 2 steps forward in pedagogy. Meaning that even though we are in advanced, we have advanced technology in our hands, but still our pedagogy is still backward. Why we know that? We know that because our student is not performing. Our student did not understand what we are teaching, even though we have help from the technology side. So we need to really combine these two. The technology must help, must facilitate the pedagogy aspects. Okay. So teachers need to be creative. but some students lacking of thinking and problem-solving skill. Maybe the problem with the creativity is or technology is because our attitude toward technology. This is my favorite cartoon. These two cleaners of the horse barn. One of them say, someday robots will do this job. We don't have to do any of the cleaning job because the robot will do this job. So the friends will ask his friend, what will we do then? Because the robot will help us, cleaning the barns. And the guy say, cleans the robots. So the mentality is there, still want to be cleaner, even though the robot is helping them to clean, or the robot are doing the cleaning. So is this learning? So I ask you this, is this learning that we, pour the knowledge from teachers to students? Of course, it's not learning, because if it's learning, then these birds can be given a bachelor degree because he can imitate what the teacher said. So learning is not equal to teaching, and teaching is not equal to learning. So teaching should be facilitate the learning, not to impede the learning. So this old paradigm, new paradigm, I think you all knows about what is the new things in the new 21st century, that we focus on student rather than on teacher teaching. Okay, compliance with rule, empowerment, responsibility. Empowerment is the key words here in new paradigm. We need to empower the student, because instead of compliance with the rule, meaning that when the authority is there, when the teacher is there, when the police is there, you are following the rule. But why not you are the one who going to control, and you is coming from yourself, coming from your inner self, that you want to do things, good things. Yeah. And then the curriculum should be proactive and supportive curriculum rather than prescriptive and reactive. This is what happened when you are, as I said, you are compliance with rule. Without the boss, you are going to do something else. So how do people perceive school? Okay, three types of student, three types of people. Okay, the student most of the time feel the school is like prison. School is like prison because, the rule of the school and prison is the same. They have to wear the same coat, the same dress. They don't have freedom. And how parents sees the school is very heaven, because teachers like their kids to go to school, because they don't have to babysit just the students, their kids. And how teachers see it is like it's like a sheep, because it's difficult to control the students. So basically, just to get back to the track, when I ask my student, what is the philosophy of education? What is the philosophy? We need to get back to the real paradigm of our education. And there are three things that the basis of the philosophy of education. One, to be knowledgeable, that you learn for the sake of knowledge. Number two is for well-being, for your social status, for your health and so on. And number three is for preparation for work. These are for economic reasons. So these are the three things that moving us to be educated. And the goal of education is not just yeah.
Okay, maybe we can answer some questions now. I think this is a good time for us to take a short break.
Yeah, sure.
Will that be okay?
Okay, good. No problem.
All right. So much you have talked about technologies, and I like the memes and so on, especially copy and paste. You've got that. Now at least you know who's the older child and who's the younger child. Control C and Control V. Okay, let's take one question here. It's from Fariza Isa. It asks what it takes for TVET in Malaysia to be AI compliant. What does it take for TVET in Malaysia to be AI compliant?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Very good questions. I think that's a hit the topics of our lecture today. To be AI compliance, first we need to see our curriculum. whether our curriculum is AI compliance. So we need to have a review of the total review of our curriculum, especially TVET curriculum. How many percentage of AI in our curriculum? How many percentage? So far I can see about 5% of AI in our curriculum, TVET curriculum in university, in my university. So is now to have some thoughts how to increase that 5% to maybe 30 or 40% of the AI. So maybe AI can also be embedded across the curriculum, but specific like machine language, you have to teach about AI in terms of the deep learning, what are the model, neural model of the AI and so on. It related also with computer science, of course. So I think in our TVET curriculum, we are more practical. Maybe we see about products that are being AIs, for example, robots, drones, autonomous vehicle. These are more on the practical sides, rather than the software sides. So, but we need to have the skill in order to repair them. How you repair drones? How you repair the autonomous vehicle? How you repair the robots? So if you don't have the skill, and I saw the NOS, I think when last year I saw the NOS only four or five NOS, has this AI related, but the rest of the NOS is not. It's a more conventional subjects. So in the future we have drones. I think drones is all over now in Malaysia. People are using it, but when it's broke and how to fix it, most of them go to the YouTube just to self-learn how to, but we don't have the professional to use to repair things. Number two is the teacher training. Number two is the teacher training. If the curriculum is there, so what are the teacher training that needs to take place, in order for us to have a systematic teacher training in terms of AI. I have suggested to KPT to have a center of excellence, for AI in maybe several universities or several institutions. That it will be like a showroom for us, that we have this quite equipped equipment and infrastructure in order to teach AI to our students. And of course, the last one is the infrastructure and the equipment. So that the three things that need to be considered. One is the curriculum. Number two is the human factor, or the teacher training or the instructors trainings. And the last one is the infrastructure. And of course, another one is the policies and the standards. Policies and standards should be also there. Okay, that's I think that's answer the question.
Yeah, thank you. I think you've given a very comprehensive answer, because people always like to say curriculum, whereas curriculum, according to your answer, is 1/4 of the problem, right?
Yeah.
We have got curriculum, we have got teacher training, we have got infrastructure, we've got policies. Curriculum alone cannot solve the problem. It is one part of the four components that must be in place. If I understand you correctly, it has got to be in place as an ecosystem, so that whatever we intend for our students or in TVET can pursue, it can be more relevant and it can take off. I think the second question comes from me. What do you mean by a supportive curriculum as opposed to a prescriptive curriculum? Apa maksud supportive curriculum?
Okay, prescriptive curriculum meaning you have fixed, very fixed curriculum. Supportive mean, other words, is flexible. It's more flexible, meaning that you can change the curriculum. You don't have to wait until 5 years to change the curriculum. It's like formative assessment. Formative meaning that in the way you can adapt the curriculum or change the curriculum according to the needs of the situation right now. For example, suddenly you say, oh, we need to have a drone. People have a lot of drones, so we don't have a subject on drones, so we need to integrate some one course on drones. So that can be done by supportive curriculum. But for prescriptive, say, oh, wait, we have to wait 5 years until the old curriculum is done, then we can add more. So that's the difference between supportive curriculum and also, prescriptive curriculum.
Do you have a time frame? Now you say 5 years.
Yeah, I think 5 years is not relevant. For me, 5 years is not relevant. Now it's 3 years. 3 years. We should revise our look again our curriculum for about 3 years, because the technology is so fast that whatever, I'm afraid that our graduates will be obsolete when we wait for 5 years to change. So I think, Dr. Zainal, I think 3 years is more reasonable for our review of our curriculum.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think that those are the two questions. Please, ladies and gentlemen, towards the end, please fill in the chat with more questions so that by the end of the session, we can have a more interesting and sort of diverse discussion with Ramlee. Yeah? So, okay, I think we can continue with the second part of your presentation.
The second part is the goal of, thank you, Dr. Zainal. The goals of education is not only just to acquire knowledge, to transfer knowledge, but the ultimate is to have a wisdom. Wisdom is basically the HOTS, the high order thinking skill, because basically the declarative procedural knowledge is just like a low level thinking, but in order to apply them into a very high level novelty, creativity, we need to be a high order thinking skill. Okay. So this guy, John Henry Newman, said knowledge is one thing, virtue is the other thing. Yeah? Wisdom begins with wonders by Socrates. Usually we have wonder because we can create something new. So that's why they say necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity is the mother of invention. If you look at this movie, I think Apollo 13, this guy, the captain of the ship, say, Houston, we have a problem. Because the ship has damaged, so they have to move into a very small capsule, which only can accommodate 2 people, but they have to add 1 more. So the problem here is the problem of the carbon dioxide because of the lessen of the oxygen. So they improve the things by ingenuity of their creativity. So in the new era, John Dewey, about I think 50 years ago, say if we teach today's student as we taught yesterday, we rob them of tomorrow. This we rightly say about how we have to change our teaching techniques, not the way that we were taught. So this is high order thinking, and this is a pyramid. So practice is better than just memorizing. So you need to have a project-based learning. This the type of pedagogy should be tutor. Independent peer is a co-learning or team teaching or team learning, and cyber is a digital learning. So we have a lot of learning strategies for the school, for the institutions. I encourage a lot of competition, technological competition, science competitions, in order to produce creativity especially among the youngsters and people who are in the process of getting new knowledge by producing new products. Yeah. So these are competencies that we need to see: effective communicators, responsible citizen, innovative thinker, creator. This is the one that I think relevant to our topic today: innovative thinkers and creators. Globally competent, motivated lifelong learners, and all-rounded person. So these are complete sets of competencies that a student or graduate should have. Of course, if you are hardworking, you can not start from scratch. You can. There's a lot of apps that's available for you to get some ideas of how to create new things, and also apps and. Now we are in Web 4, especially with AI. Web 4.0 is artificial intelligence. So AI is about robots interface, 3D printing, autonomous vehicle, deep learning, and so on. So these are the example of the how smart is the Siri. Siri is the our personal assistant in our iPhone. Some guy asked Siri, "Are you human?" Siri answered, "Does it matter?" And the guy say, "Yes." So Siri say, "I thought so." So the guy is not satisfied and asks, "Answer my question. Are you human?" And Siri says, "Close enough, I would say." Yeah. So it's very smart things. And the guy asked Siri, "Siri, can you call my boyfriend, please?" And Siri say, "Which boyfriend?" Because Siri has detected that you have two numbers that you frequently call. Siri answered, "That's sweet, Joshua. Is there anything else I can help you with?" That Joshua said, "Will you marry me?" And Siri say, "My end user licensing agreement does not cover marriages. My apologies." And then the last one example, guys say, "Can you murder someone for me?" Okay, so Siri say, "I found 3 mental health agency very close to you." So Siri already know that this guy is crazy. So these are some of the robots now being used in the market. Ross is a robot lawyer. And we have Sophia, Gia, just now we have Koi and so on. Japanese also have their own robots. However, end of 2019, new virus attacked us. We have a coronavirus. A lot of school closed. These are number of school closed in number of students did not go to school. School colleges are closed. New academic session has started late. Student teachers at home. Online teaching is going on. Final exam complete online mode and so on. So classroom is empty. Lab is empty. Lecture room is empty. University is empty. So the teacher is lonely. And students are at home learning online. So there's challenges of online learning. And some teachers are not ready for online learning. They are crying. They are complaining that they are not trained to teach online. So there's a new whole issues on online learning. So the most important for digital is to have a connection. So so you can learn through many media, and but the responsibility is your institution to train you how to handle the online. Of course, digital device still exists. This case in I think in Sabah or Sarawak, the student needs to go climbing because of the internet connection. So what shall we do? So for those who have these internet connections, I think most of us have internet connection, except for those people in remote areas that we also need to consider how they're going to learn. But for those who have internet connections, then I think for vocational teachers, vocational education, this is what my suggestion: develop a toolkit. Develop a toolkits, digital toolkits, because most of them are working at home now. I hope that in the future maybe we can have a back to face-to-face. But for the time being, when you are cannot see your students face-to-face, then you have to develop toolkits, digital toolkits for vocational teachers and trainers. Okay, this example. Even though this, I think, is a hybrid because we have also the face-to-face.
You train novice welders, whether at a trade school, union facility, or industrial training department. You need a process that's efficient and effective. Traditional classrooms don't always capture the imagination of students who grew up with smart technology.
Can you hear? Slow.
Yeah, it's rather slow. So maybe you can sort of again add link.
I think you can understand by visual. They are transforming from face-to-face to the augmented reality. Because augmented reality is not dangerous because you are not using the real gas.
Computer-generated images onto our view of the real world. Augmented Art from Miller, combining the efficiency and economy of classroom education with the effectiveness of hands-on welding experience. Augmented Art is the industry's most realistic welding simulation. Students work with real 3D objects and see them overlaid with computer-generated images. Augmented Art's specially designed helmet uses a camera and sensor to send video and position data.
I think there's a
computer processes the data.
the most important is to have the device, the augmented device, so that student can learn without using the real equipment.
It seems like actual welding, complete with metal workpieces. The same in reality. There's no confusion or disorientation.
So I will stop here and then go back to. All right. Yes. So the next thing that we need to do is to have the this another example of artificial intelligence for TVET. We can have robots, intelligent tutoring system, smart classroom, adaptive learning, learning analytics, AI-based assessment. So these things can be implemented in without face-to-face. And the tips is remember your audience, vary your screen. Be honest, don't try to hide IT issues. You have to tell us or to your administrators that what is the problem with your online teaching or learning. For example, if the students are not attending your classes, so what are their problems? So maybe they have internet problems and so on. So this must be addressed. Keep it simple, not too much animation, because sometimes it will burden the student, because student might have a very limited, data. If you put too much animation, it will not be accessible to the students. So hybrid classroom is another options. We have both face-to-face, some face-to-face, the other is online. But you have to have a special camera to capture online and also those students in your classroom. So this. So another thing is you can use gamification online in order to test their creativity, to test their their knowledge. But some cautious, for example, from Einstein, he said that I fear that the day technology will surpass our human interaction, that will have generation of idiots. So this is one caution. So now we can see that most people are focusing on their iPhone rather than to interact with others. Okay, 100,000 ago, we have this cave people, our ancestors, and they wrote on they paint on the cave painting. 37,000 ago, and then 3,500 ago they start have a formal writing. And 30 years ago, PowerPoint was invented. Why PowerPoint is invented? Because the majority of the students are visual. 83% of the students are visual. They need to learn by seeing. So this is the shape model that I'm used in my classroom, whether it's a face-to-face or online. One is S is stories. You can add stories in your presentation. Number 2, humor, a little bit of humor. And number 3, vary your activities. And P is presentation style. Also, you have to have different presentation style and have a lot of example. By using these shapes, you can apply. I think it will attract attention of your students. Yeah, shape model: stories, human, activities, presentation, and examples. And Plato says those who tell story will rule the world. So those can attract people by telling stories. Of course, another model that I want to give you is EPIC model. One is experiential, meaning that you have to have hands-on experience or the practice of doing things in your classroom. Number 2, participatory. Make sure students participate, not only their physical participation, but their mental and their hearts. And you have to have image-driven, meaning that you have to have a visual, PowerPoint, and so on. And lastly, you have to have connection between you and the students. So that there seems that you are care about their learning. So EPIC is EPIC, experiential, participatory, image-driven, and also connected. EPIC model. So these are the thing that pre-human dinosaur, why they extinct because of the climates and so on. So this guy, MIT economist, say we are watching the dinosaur die, but we do not know who will take their place. Who will going to take the dinosaur place? Anybody can answer me? Who going to take the dinosaur place? Of course, the answer is traditional teacher. Traditional is not. They don't want to change. 29th century classroom, 21st century classroom, and now we have 21st century learners that they begin with digital things when they are 3 or 4 years of age. These are the range for baby boomers, and we need to know about the millennial. Millennial is they born I think in early 2000s. So this guy is these kids are more literate than us in terms of the digital, and we also have Y generation. And for example, this Y generation, the father say, "Hi, sweetie, how was school today?" And she say, "You can read all about it on my blog." That she has already the now not blog, maybe Twitter and so on. So I also wonder why we call them Y generations. And suddenly when I observe they are wearing like this, they are wearing, the Y is there. Yeah? So so then Top Scott, one of scholar of digital, they say these are the criteria of the digital students. They like freedom of choice. They like customization. They like they want people to be. They like transparency, transparent, and collaboration, entertainment. Of course, they like entertainment. They like innovation, and they like speed. They want everything fast. So this is not only the millennial, but the industry also have this type of mentality. They need fast. Innovation should be at the forefront of our of their survival, of their economic aspects. Okay, the future of learning, I think innovation. Now, Dr. Zainal, we come to the creativity, the last part of my talk.
Okay, all right.
Creativity. Okay, innovation is the game changer now. If you're not involved in innovation, then you are left out. So, but what is innovation? When you ask them, it's like a blind man with elephants. So, if I can ask you, what is this photo? You can say, oh, this is a horse. Okay, and what is the horse become? It can become a frog. So the horse and the frog, because from different perspective you can see the differences. So perspective, changing of perspective is what basically the innovation is. We look from different perspective. If you see this car, we thought that this car is just out of his way into some kind of plants. But actually, the car is upside down. The car is upside down. Okay. I like this frog because it's smart. So the guy is developing the apps which try to deceive the frog by saying, "Oh, there's ants that you can eat, but it's not a real ants." And what happened to the guy when he tried to deceive the frog? So this is happening to him. Okay, creativity is connection, rearranging on knowledge, and to produce new thing, to generate new, often surprising ideas that are just to be useful. Okay, Ken Robinson, he died 2 years ago. A process of having original ideas. Creativity is as important as literacy. This is important, I think, aspects of creativity that these guys say that creativity is as important as literacy. Okay, innovation is just application of the new ideas to produce valuable products. So I want to test you whether this is innovation or not. Yeah, you put the paper towel on the top of your head in order for you to be easier for you to clean your nose. And the other thing is you put this thing on your face in order to avoid splashing of the noodles. It's new but not useful. It's new but not useful, but this is what we call absurd invention, and that is not innovation. So the characteristics of innovation is new and useful. Do two things: new and people use it. If the thing is new but people not using it, is not innovation. Huh? So innovation must be new and useful. This one is innovation. Could be for him. Could be for him. So Master Proud say, a real voyage to discovery consists of not seeking new lands, but seeing in new eyes. So creativity is about seeing with a new eyes, with a new perspective. That's why they say outside the box. And the best way to get good ideas is to get lots of ideas. So what we call brainstorming. This left like brain, I think you all know about it. Multiple intelligence, so it's about different types of intelligence. Of course, this we can combine some of this. So I almost finished. So I will finish with this one. We need to change our mindset. Don't put barriers in front of our minds. Charles Darwin say the most adaptable is the fittest that can survive. And we as the teachers must have a good hormones. Good hormones, not a bad one. So good hormones is like dopamine. It can make you motivated. Oxytocin make you human. Endorphin make you happy. So these three hormone is very important for teachers to motivate their students and to motivate them to be motivated. So lastly, I just put the last slide. These ways to have a creativity. For some people, hot baths, jogging, coffee, new iPad, high salary. So the last one, I think we need to have this intelligence-based learning model, which is optimizing learning opportunities, personalized learning, active and deep learning, improve teaching and learning efficiency, digital ecosystem. These are the intelligence-based model that I'm proposing for our TVET instructors and teachers. Optimizing learning, personalized learning, active and deep learning, improve teaching and learning efficiency, and digital provide the ecosystem. Design mindset, creative, innovative mind, ability to solve complex problems, quality data, continuous improvement, and ethics. So lastly, digital learning is about new learning, new way of learning, new tools of learning, new ways of thinking, and new ways of learning. With that, I will conclude my lectures. Thank you very much, Dr. Zainal, for your patience and attentions. And I hope I give you some tips or some knowledge that you can use in your TVET institution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. It was an exciting presentation. You have covered a lot of areas, and I like the way you injected humor in it. So at least you're using your own shape methodology in presenting it. So it was interesting, yeah. Maybe one more question. Everyone seems to be into AI these days. So the question again is, how ready is Malaysia in AI teaching and learning? How ready? So the word readiness, how ready is Malaysia in teaching and learning?
I'm not going to generalize to the whole Malaysia, but I think some, especially our TVET institution, some of the TVET institutions, including my department, my university, we're still not ready yet. I think we're still at IR3, which is automation level, but not at the artificial intelligence level yet. But we can catch up because of the media and of course of the digital platform that we can use nowadays. Even though we are very few of the courses that we offer in artificial intelligence, I think the lecturers have their own initiative to learn by themselves through internet. So we try to embed some of the AI in our courses by giving students projects that they can create AI products. For example, we want them to have a small model of how autonomous vehicle run. So they need to know about sensors and so on. They need to know about some electronics. So I think it's a good final project for the students to embed AI in their projects that we can do for our students. That at the individual level we can do, but for institutional level and also the country level, we of course the policy is there. The policy is there, but we need some more commitment in terms of at the implementation level, especially in the curriculum and the infrastructure level. That we need to have a concerted efforts. For me, we don't have to have everyone doing it. Maybe we can select in one institution. Maybe we have one centers for artificial intelligence. I think Polytechnic have maybe 30 institutions, but maybe we can choose one to begin with, and one institution to premier polytechnics can be one of the showroom that we can have because the budget is so small, so we need to focus in selecting one or two polytechnics, one or two TVET institution, and integrate the AI in that for the timing. So when the AI is established, then we can move to other institutions. Meaning that, for example, if a student want to take AI courses, maybe they just go to one polytechnic specialized in AI. So that's my suggestion, and I also suggest that for my university that we may have one program that is focused on AI. So same thing with other. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I think we have got one more question from me before we end this first webinar. I'd just like to know, from your point of view, why are educators refusing the use of technology in teaching and learning? Why are they, some of them, refusing to use technology? What makes it so? For these educators, why do they prefer the traditional way? Is there something that we can learn from that?
Okay, I think there are many reasons why people are not. One is maybe burden to them to have maybe new system of assessment, online system of assessment. They need to learn new things, and they need to and for example, they need to have a hybrid classroom. So they need to learn how to use a new devices, how to integrate the physical and the online things. But I think 100% of online is not also good, because we need human touch. Human touch, because students also need co-curricular activities. They need to see face-to-face with their lecturers. So combination of this thing is good, but 100% of online, I think it will lose the human touch. That's why some of the mostly senior lecturers, senior teachers want to retire early. They want to retire early because they say it's too burden, and they say they don't have a human touch, because they use for the last 30 years about with a face-to-face, and all suddenly they need to use it online. And there's a lot of problem also online. Students also have faced online. So I think we have to balance out. At my age, I can still learn about digital, but I also need a human touch in my classroom. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we end the first webinar on an interesting topic of teaching and learning using technology, and also the creativity side. I think although a lot of these things have been said, but it's interesting to see how Prof. Ramlee puts it in a new light, to make sure that whatever we do, we are always keeping a fresh perspective of things. That's what learning is all about. Yeah. So with that, I would like to thank Prof. Ramlee. Oh yeah, before that, please do not forget to isi to fill in your korang kehadiran in this link. If you look at the chat list, there is a link there. please do fill in and make sure that you are being listed as attendee of the webinar. Okay, so with that, thank you so much again, Prof. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Till we meet again. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Zainal. Thank you very much. Send my salam to Dr. Puan Zainal. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, for you, the rest of the audience, there will be the next webinar will start at 10:30 with another interesting topic by Dr. Umar. So until then, have a break, take 5, take 15, and we'll see you again in 10:30. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. Channel, that's all. Huh? That's all.